Former Chief Minister of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti, has stirred a hornet's nest. She's called for dialogue with Pakistan before the crucial 14 political leaders from Jammu and Kashmir and Prime Minister Modi's meet in the national capital. The BJP hit right back, saying there is no question of dialogue with Pakistan till Rawalpindi takes decisive action against India-centric terror. Sunil Ji Bhatt and Ashraf Wani bring you our top story tonight.
जम्मू कश्मीर में डायलॉग करें और सबके साथ करें और पाकिस्तान के साथ भी करें रेजोल्यूशन के लिए.
The open pandering to Pakistan in return for the centre's olive branch. Mehbooba Mufti singing the Pakistan tune ahead of Prime Minister Modi's all-important all-party talks on Thursday, raising questions on the viability of this entire exercise.
न सिर्फ जम्मू कश्मीर या हमारे मुल्क के अंदर बल्कि पूरे खिते में तो इसके बगैर कोई चारा नहीं है.
क्लियर कर दिया, नो
कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑन दैट. और डायलॉग की बात हमसे डायलॉग कर रहे हैं. हम कहते हैं कि ये दोहा जाके तालिबान से डायलॉग कर रहे हैं. आपने सुना होगा हमारी गवर्नमेंट. तो जम्मू कश्मीर में डायलॉग करें और सबके साथ करें और पाकिस्तान के साथ भी करें रेजोल्यूशन के लिए.
Mehbooba Mufti advocating talks with the principal tormentors of Kashmiris. Even as Pakistan continues to send in terrorists to bleed Kashmiris. On Monday, 3 Lashkar terrorists who killed several politicians and policemen were killed in an encounter. The BJP questioned the locust standi of Pakistan in internal matters of India, especially at a time when an all-important, all-party meet for a Naya Kashmir is on the table.
जहां कहीं भी देश के विरुद्ध कोई आवाज करेगा, देश के विरुद्ध जहां कहीं कोई षड्यंत्र करने की कोशिश करेगा, भारतीय जनता पार्टी उसको काउंटर करेगी.
The Gupkar alliance, which accepted Modi's invitation, is also hardening its stand on return to J&K's statehood and revoked special status.
पीपल्स अलायंस का जो एजेंडा है, जिसके लिए हमने ये अलायंस बनाया हुआ है, जो हमसे छीना गया है, हम उस पे बात करेंगे कि ये आपने गलती की है, ये इलीगल रहा है, ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है. इसको बहाल किए बगैर जम्मू कश्मीर का मसला और जम्मू कश्मीर के हालात और इस पूरे खित्ते में आप अमन बहाल नहीं कर सकते.
The PAGD, all the constituents of PAGD and the people of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh, they stand by that declaration that restoration of 370 and 35A is a must.
Earlier, National Conference patron Farooq Abdullah led the Gupkar strategy meeting, asserting that the group will put its stand before the Prime Minister on Thursday.
हमें उम्मीद है कि हम अपने जो मौक़िफ़ है उसको वहाँ पे वज़ीर आज़म साहब और होम मिनिस्टर साहब के सामने रखें.
Many of the Gupkar leaders felt increasingly sidelined after the centre revoked Jammu and Kashmir's special status. Are they now reopening old wounds when the valley is trying its level best to keep its troubled past behind?
The BJP leaders who are going to participate in that all-party meeting are going to oppose Mehbooba Mufti's demands. Now it remains to be seen that what exactly is discussed in that all-party meeting and what is the centre going to do as far as political future of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. With video journalist Neeraj Kumar, this is Sunil Bhatt reporting from Jammu for India Today.
So when political activity is gathering steam in Jammu and Kashmir once again, why would Mehbooba Mufti seek dialogue with Pakistan? Joining me on India First is Firdaus Tak, spokesperson of the PDP. Sushil Pandit is a Kashmiri activist, joins us from Jammu. Javed Iqbal Shah is the political analyst, and Sanju Verma represents the Bharatiya Janata Party. And Sanju Verma, what is wrong with Mehbooba Mufti saying talk to Pakistan? Government has repeatedly talked to Pakistan. Why should the BJP be upset if she says have a dialogue with Pakistan?
Gaurav, I'm surprised you're even asking me the question because I think you understand, these matters better than any journalist I know of. Gaurav, the problem is that Pakistan is not a stakeholder in Kashmir or anything to do with Kashmir. In the last couple of years, ever since Prime Minister Modi romped into power in May 2014, there have been umpteen attempts by Pakistan to internationalize the Kashmir issue, to try and take it to the United Nations, to go whining to the United States of America, and each time it has been categorically rebuffed and told Kashmir is internal to India. I think that message has gone out loud and clear by Prime Minister Modi, by the Ministry of Home Affairs, by Ajit Doval, by Lieutenant General Manoj Sinha, and of course by the international community, barring a few people who love to play spoil sport.
Then
So I
why
think the
call
Indian
Mehbooba
government
Mufti
stand-
and Farooq Abdullah for dialogue in case they said nobody would be left to lift the tricolor in Jammu and Kashmir if 370 is abrogated, or sought China's help for restoration of 370?
Yes, that's a very interesting question, and I will just make a limited point to that. That Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah can engage in grandstanding and scream from every rooftop in Jammu and Kashmir and say what they have to. But I think in the case of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, you will have to give him credit for that. His actions speak louder than words. Nobody in their wildest dreams thought that Article 370 and Article 35A would be abrogated. Let me repeat, that is not on the agenda of discussion.
Okay.
Article
Javed
370
Iqbal
and
Shah.
Article 35A
Okay.
have been done and dusted and abrogated for good. That
Okay.
is not going to be restored.
Javed Iqbal Shah, what do you make of Mehbooba Mufti seeking dialogue with Pakistan? In your view, is Pakistan a stakeholder in the development of Jammu and Kashmir, or is this an attempt to make Pakistan a stakeholder in India's internal affairs?
Exactly, it is. That's what it is. Now, I'll take you a bit. I'll delve into the the futility of the exercise ab initio. We have the Home Minister saying that the Gupkar gang is going global. They want foreign forces to intervene in J&K. The Gupkar gang also insults India's tricolor. Do Sonia ji and Rahul ji support such moves of the Gupkar gang? They should make their stand crystal clear to the people of India. I think a responsible person of the stature of the Home Minister would not have made this statement without intent or without basis.
Okay.
So first, have they turned nationalist enough for you to invite them? Or was this a hot balloon that you floated to build a pressure? You must come clean on this first. Second, Gaurav, when you ask me about this posturing of PDP to get Pakistan in, I would like to ask Mehbooba ji, when Mufti Saab was made Home Minister, he never contested from J&K. A place called Muzaffarnagar in UP elected and sent him to Parliament, which Kashmir never had, and an honor. It was an honor to have a Kashmiri as Home Minister, the first Muslim Home Minister of India. Did we ask Pakistan then? Second, more importantly, all this abstract notions of autonomy and self-rule for 70 long years is what has gotten us here in the first place. And Pakistan, what it has done, it has just tapped into this disaffection.
Okay.
It has been a lot of inflammable material put together by the Abdullahs and the Muftis, and Pakistan only has had to lend a very, a small spark, costing them next to peanuts.
And,
now, having done
it's
that,
cost lives
how
in
can
India, and yet an attempt is being made to make Pakistan a stakeholder.
attempt is being made, but credit for this also goes to this regime. Why are they making these people irrelevant again?
Okay,
When you
and
remove
Sanju Verma
370,
must
they were
answer
never
that.
relevant.
The government must also answer that in case
The
they were
government must
irrelevant
answer
for the
that.
past 2 years, or has the government realized that they were not irrelevant? Sushil Pandit, BJP says there is no question of relooking Article 370. Gupkar
Gaurav, can you
Alliance
let me-
says
can
their
you
agenda
let me
is
finish?
restoration of
Can you
Article
let me
370 and 35A. So will this then end up being an exercise in futility, sir?
Gaurav, give me a second. I just want to draw the
Gaurav,
bottom
can I
line.
come in, please?
Give me a moment. Let Javed Iqbal Shah complete, and let me bring in Sushil Pandit and then come in, ma'am.
Gaurav, for all this talk of involving Pakistan, now what you have done in 70 years, misrule, malgovernance, malfeasance, you have cases of the ED being investigated for siphoning of funds of the chief minister's discretionary, the secret funds. You have a case against people of the ilk of Sardaj Madani. And you have cases against the likes of Wahid Para, who were your conduits for terror. And today you're saying you have the gall to say that you want Pakistan in. On what basis? And mind
Okay.
you, Sanju was just saying that, you know, this is grandstanding. No, ma'am, sorry, it's not grandstanding. You've gone beyond that. Actually, you conceded a lot of ground. Sartaj Madani is out. The other guy who has been actively involved in, you know, in kind of
Allegedly, that's the
funneling
case
funds
against
and
him.
Yeah, Wahid Para is on his way out, Gaurav.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me also bring in Firdaus Tak before I bring in Sushil Pandit. Firdaus Tak, why would Mehbooba Mufti raise dialogue with Pakistan when the meeting is about Jammu and Kashmir? And in case Mehbooba Mufti wanted talks with Pakistan about Pakistan-occupied Kashmir or terror, should she not have qualified it? Or, in the opinion of the PDP, is Pakistan a stakeholder even here, sir?
Well, Gaurav, I am a bit late to the party, but I fully understand what my fellow panelists have been saying about PDP and our demand to talk with Pakistan. First of all, I must congratulate you and the rest of the panelists who have been advocated every bit of military action in Jammu and Kashmir and denouncing us, the mainstream political leadership, calling us thugs, thieves, gangs, and blah, blah, blah. Today, the same panelists have at least realized that we have a stake for peace and peaceful resolution. Jammu and Kashmir, central government has a change of heart. It is a summer slot, but a bit late. But we welcome it. But at the same time, I must appreciate that the situation in Jammu and Kashmir has gone far from worse. If this meeting is all about calling Jammu and Kashmir mainstream political leaders to Delhi and serving them tea and Wazwan, I think that will not serve any purpose.
Okay.
The resolution of Jammu and Kashmir issue is an important aspect of any kind of negotiation between Government of India and the mainstream political leaders in Jammu and Kashmir, especially if you talk about PDP. We have been categorically saying that it's not only the restoration of 370,
Okay.
but resolution of Jammu and Kashmir issue is also important.
No, what
And if
is
you
resolution
talk
of Jammu and
about
Kashmir
resolution
for you?
if
You want to
if
take
you
back
talk
Pakistan
about
occupied Kashmir, or you are
If you
happy?
want to-
You are happy with Pakistan occupied Kashmir and Gilgit Baltistan being out? You only want the resolution in this part?
Gaurav, well, your friends are already talking with the Pakistan through diplomatic means and backdoor channels. I think you should also ask them that they are as I think they are story as we are, because
So
the-
you
on
are
the
saying,
very
my
same
friends,
day-
they happen to be the government of the day. Are you saying they're your enemies? Are they your enemies? But let me bring in Sushil Pandit. You haven't answered a very direct question that I asked you. Or are you scared to talk about Pakistan occupied Kashmir? Are you scared to talk about taking back Pakistan occupied Kashmir? But let me put this to Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit, BJP says there is no question of relooking Article 370. Gupkar Alliance says their agenda begins with the restoration of Article 370. Is this then, sir, an exercise in futility?
If it were just an exercise in futility, I could live with it. This is an exercise in lowering national honor and national esteem. It's a blow to our reputation when the government of the day, which has demonstrated insatiable appetite for humiliation, repeatedly calls these people and gives them legitimacy. They forget that the same Mufti has been advocating Pakistani interest when she was negotiating agenda for alliance. After coming to power, she rubbed their face in mud repeatedly over 3 years when she filed FIRs against our officers, army officers, when she released Masarat Alam, when she gave legitimacy to Hurriyat, when she let loose a reign of terror through her proxies. And now, when she was delegitimized,
Yes.
put into some kind of a custody over a few months, released unconditionally to again spew venom. And now our Prime Minister plays host and she revels in humiliating him by again talking about Pakistan.
Respond, Sanju Verma. Mehbooba Mufti had said there'll be nobody left to lift the tricolour. Farooq Abdullah talked about China and at the LSE and seeking China's help for restoration of Article 370. If Home Minister called them Gupkar gang, how are they guests of honor at the Prime Minister's residence? Is there merit in Sushil Pandit saying it's a major climb down by Government of India, ma'am?
You know, Gaurav, you did not interrupt Sushil Pandit even once. I would request that I'm going to take only 60 seconds, but let me have my say. Sushil Pandit has used very strong language. You know, the fact of the matter is, I will not dignify his statements by stooping to the level to which he has stooped. He talks about Mehbooba Mufti rubbing the Indian government's face in the mud. But excuse me, Mr. Pandit, the kind of utterances you have just engaged in, you know, calling the Prime Minister the highest elected officer of the land, short of calling him names, I think you are the last person who should be sitting here and giving a moral lecture or bhashan to the BJP. I will tell you a couple of things, Gaurav. Sushil Pandit can come and whine and fret and fume and do whatever he wants. But the fact is, at the end of the day, tell me honestly, what are the initiatives that the Modi government has taken after a long time, perhaps for the first time in 6 or 7 decades? You had Panchayat elections in 2018. For the first time, you had DDC elections in November and December of 2020 with an average voter turnout of 71%. For the first time, you had 3 BJP candidates winning in Srinagar, in Khamur, Pulwama and Bandipora, which have never happened before. For the first time, you've seen the Chenani Nashri tunnel, which was started by the Congress, being completed by the Modi government to ease the lives of common Kashmiris in 2017. For the first
Fair
time,
enough. Take it to its logical conclusion. Does the government lack courage of conviction to take its thinking to its logical conclusion? Madam, I am sorry, there cannot be a monologue. There has to be a dialogue.
Yes, so let me finish.
So, my point is, no, Javed bhai, is there lack of courage of conviction to carry it to its logical conclusion? If there is new leadership coming, should faith have been put in new leadership, or you've come back to the same people you accused of being a gang? Javed Iqbal Shah.
Absolutely. Gaurav, for all this, tall claims of the organic, the leadership and the grassroots, representatives having come up under the BJP-led government at the center, why have they still chosen to fall back on the old thieves? Sorry to use the wrong words, but that's the way the average Kashmiri looks at them. And let me remind Sanju Verma.
I would just request all our guests to keep the conversation very civil, minus name calling, so that we get to the essence.
Did you ever imagine Article 370 would be
Javed Iqbal Shah, please complete, sir.
Did you ever imagine Article 35A would be revoked?
Ma'am, what purpose has it served?
A discriminatory Article 370. But
what purpose has it served when at the end of the day you only had to,
hold on. Again,
who have indulged in double speak, corruption and abstract.
No, let's not make this into a personal. Sanju Verma, don't do that. Don't derail the debate. It's not a personal attack on Sushil Pandit. He's raising a point. If you can answer it on merit, please answer it on merit, ma'am. Please answer it on merit. Do not attack my guests. I'm sorry, I will not permit that. But let me bring in Firdaus Tak. Firdaus Tak.
It's BJP versus BJP.
It's BJP. Firdaus Tak is development. It's development of J&K, PDP's aim, or is peddling Pakistan's agenda. I'm sorry, can I please have order on the show? Please speak when spoken to, as is my request to our guests. This is not the channel where you can just rant. Speak when spoken to, please. Firdaus Tak, is this development of J&K, is that PDP's aim, or is peddling Pakistan's agenda PDP's aim?
Well, Gaurav, I remember the day we demanded that Government of India should hold a dialogue with China on the border dispute. You wanted us to be hanged on the nearest tree.
Don't worry what I may have wanted, sir. Just answer me on merits.
I know, I remember. I am answering you. I am answering to have some patience. So it is the time and again, whenever we talk about dialogue and peace, we are being crucified. You want us to be crucified?
Are you being crucified? I'm asking you a question. No, sir. Firdaus Tak. Has Mehbooba Mufti once told Pakistan, stop killing Kashmiris, stop sending terrorists once? Or is she scared?
Talk to Pakistan. That is what Government of India has to do. It has to talk to Pakistan to stop what it is doing. It is the dialogue, it is the backdoor negotiation being held with Pakistan that we have peace on borders today. The level of violence on the border has come down. So why are you shying away from holding any kind of negotiation?
No,
Till yesterday, you wanted us to be jailed, you wanted us to be hanged, and today you want us to be on the dialogue table. We have been categorical on this, that dialogue with the internal and the external dimensions of Kashmir are mandatory if you want peace, not only in Jammu and Kashmir, but the entire subcontinent.
Okay.
If you want to call us to Delhi and serve tea, we are more than happy to do, but that is not going to change situation in Jammu and Kashmir. Please, you have experimented with everything.
Fair enough.
Just try to listen to the people.
Sanju Verma, respond.
Yes.
It's a climb down by government when it holds back channel talks with Pakistan for peace at the LOC, or when it calls people. Home Minister described as the Gupkar gang as guests of honor to the Prime Minister's house.
I want to just say one thing, Gaurav. Please don't forget that whenever the Modi government has taken an initiative to ensure that there is Kashmiriyat, Insaniyat, Jamhuriyat in the fullest sense and not a mere slogan, it is the same, certain cabal which comes up and is at hammer and tongs with the government. Tell me one thing. Did the Modi government not avenge Uri? Did the Modi government not avenge Pulwama? Surgical strike of 2016. Have people forgotten that? Balakot strike of 2019. Have people forgotten that? Why is it that the Modi government is always second guessed when it comes to its one-on-fighting intentions? I repeat, if today Pakistan is in the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force, it is thanks to the international pressure built by the Narendra Modi government. Let no one be under any illusion. And if Pakistan doesn't comply with all the 27 conditions, it may well see itself in the blacklist of the Financial Action Task Force. So stop second guessing about the June 24th meeting. Prime Minister Modi is driven by the agenda of national interest and India first. And I think he has shown that.
Sushil Pandit,
on
the
more
Prime
than one
Minister's
occasion.
actions, according to Sanju Verma, show he means India first, whatever steps he takes. And she talks about the surgical strike, and she does talk about the Balakot airstrike, where fighter jets for the first time went not just into Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, but in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, bombed them in return. So here is somebody who's showing action. If there is a step that's being taken, why doubt that step, sir?
Yes.
Gaurav, it is a typical case of clearing a minefield and then tripping on your shoelaces. This is where they undo all the good work. They are trying to revive half-dead snakes by trying to call them, legitimize them, roll out a red carpet for them.
No,
and
how are
kick
they
them in their
snakes?
Mr.
Sir,
Sushil
hear me
Pandit,
out.
I take serious objection.
Sir, hear me out. They're former chief ministers of the state. They're elected leaders of the state. And if there are cases against them, they need to be proven in a court of law.
As per the Home Minister on the floor of Parliament, these elected leaders of the state.
Mr. Tak, hold on. Mr. Tak, I will come to you. Hold on. One by one.
These elected the state has swindled us.
Okay, give me 30 seconds. Gentlemen, both of you give me 30 seconds. Firdaus Tak, I want to hear you, but if both of you talk simultaneously, the viewers will be able to hear no one. So hold on, Mr. Tak. Sushil Pandit, finish your point, and then Mr. Tak.
You have
Gaurav,
Okay,
these
Mr.
so-called
only Sushil Pandit,
elected
please
leaders of
finish
the
your point,
state
sir.
were indicted in no uncertain terms on the floor of the Parliament by our Home Minister, by our Prime Minister. They were accused of dragging it to the brink of disaster. They are the ones who were supposed to be indicted, tried, and punished. They are the criminals moving around like mainstream politicians.
Sir, if they're criminals, it has to be proven in a court of law. It has to be proven in a court of law, and that process hasn't happened. Mr. Tak wanted to respond to you.
Charge sheet them. If you don't try and charge sheet them, how will you prove them in the court of law?
Okay, only Mr. Tak. Mr. Tak, please respond, sir.
I take serious objection to Mr. Sushil Pandit and his verbal diarrhea. I think you should get himself
again, no personal attack. Gentlemen, we can have a civil debate. I mean, all of you are making intelligent points. Just make them.
He is calling mainstream political leaders snake, and you are telling me to maintain.
I'm requesting all our guests to remain civil.
But everybody else is supposed to listen quietly to
Nobody is supposed to have used words which are not supposed to be used. And I've requested all our guests to do that. Okay, Mr. Tak, complete your point.
I am saying that if you want to debate, let's have a dignified debate.
Yes.
If there is a change of heart with the central government, we have been booked, we have been harassed, we have been punished, we have been jailed. Even the wife of the former home minister, the mother of former chief minister, were dragged to the NIA office on flimsy grounds. If there is a change of heart in the center, I think people like Sushil Pandit shall digest this thing, that there is no alternate to dialogue. If given power to people like him, he wants to kill every Muslim in entire world, not only.
Now again, no fear mongering.
No,
Again, all this
I
is
know
bizarre
it's-
conversation.
I
But
know
in
I'm
midst of all of this, and before I bring in Javed Iqbal Shah, I want our viewers to know, as this political process gets underway, there is a process of delimitation. There is an exercise that is currently underway. Let me get you details of that exercise before I come back to our guests. Political leaders in Jammu and Kashmir hold consultations ahead of their meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Delhi on the 24th of June. There is a buzz in the air about restoration of political activity. Beyond the optics, there is a detailed delimitation exercise currently underway, which is expected to pave the way for elections in Jammu and Kashmir. The Delimitation Commission was set up on the 6th of March 2020 after the Jammu and Kashmir Reorganisation Act 2019 was passed in Parliament on the 5th of August 2019. On Independence Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke of the delimitation exercise and the road ahead.
जम्मू कश्मीर में डिलिमिटेशन की प्रक्रिया चल रही है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निवृत्त न्यायमूर्ति के नेतृत्व में डिलिमिटेशन का काम चल रहा है। भविष्य में वहां चुनाव हो, जम्मू कश्मीर के एमएलए हो, जम्मू कश्मीर के मंत्रीगण हो, जम्मू कश्मीर के मुख्यमंत्रीगण हो, नई ऊर्जा के साथ विकास के मार्ग पर आगे बढ़े, इसके लिए देश प्रतिबद्ध भी है और प्रयासरत भी है।
The Delimitation Commission is headed by Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, a former Justice of the Supreme Court of India. The election commissioners in Delhi and in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir are its ex officio members. It also has 5 associate members, including Dr. Jitendra Singh, Jugal Kishore Sharma, Farooq Abdullah, Muhammad Akbar Lone, and Hasnain Masoodi. The task of the Delimitation Commission is redrawing boundaries of Jammu and Kashmir on the basis of the last census for Assembly and Lok Sabha elections. Before the Reorganisation Act of Jammu and Kashmir 2019, the Assembly in the erstwhile state had 87 seats, 46 in Kashmir, 37 in Jammu, and 4 in Ladakh. Of course, apart from 24 in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. After the reorganization, the plan is to have 114 seats with more balanced representation, which has in the past led to tension, with Jammu complaining of being underrepresented and playing second fiddle to Kashmir. Ladakh now is a separate union territory.
Many social and political organizations in Jammu region feel that the way delimitation is being conducted, it will not give justice to Jammu region. They say that this delimitation is being conducted as per 2011 census, which they feel was a fudged one. The BJP, on the other hand, has promised that there will be no compromise on the issues of Jammu, and delimitation will be done in a way so that Jammu gets justice and the total number of seats of Jammu in J&K Assembly increase.
It is the strategic necessity of the Union of India as well to contain terrorism and jihad in Kashmir, and the only way it can be contained is by creating a special state of Jammu Pradesh and dividing Kashmir into 2 union territories.
On the 4th of March 2021, the Commission sought a year-long extension, saying due to COVID, they were unable to carry out the task. The Commission has also sent a letter to district commissioners of all the districts of Jammu and Kashmir seeking information on population density, terrain and topography. Jammu has sought equal representation on the basis of topography and terrain, while Kashmir wants representation to be limited to population and density.
The Delimitation Commission, which has been set up after Article 370 was removed in 2019, is an important exercise which will increase the number of seats in the Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir from 107 to 114. While a lot of people in Jammu have been welcoming it, many in the valley have been fearing that this is an attempt to increase the number of seats only in the Jammu division.
Last time such an exercise was carried out was in 1995 on the basis of 1981 census ahead of the 1996 elections. Delimitation was carried out before that in 1963 and 1975. The Assembly of the erstwhile state of J&K had put a freeze on delimitation till 2026. With Shujaul Haq in Srinagar and Sunilji Bhatt in Jammu, Bureau Report, India Today. Javed Iqbal Shah, Jammu feels it is treated like a poor country cousin and that it's discriminated against. In your appreciation, is there merit in this perception, and is the delimitation exercise expected to set it right? Javed Shah, can you hear me?
I heard that.
Let me take a moment and try and reestablish that link. Sushil Pandit, why is there an apprehension
Yes.
that Jammu's interests will be sacrificed at the altar of talks?
Because that's what has happened all the time. The entire focus is always on the valley. Jammu is only asked over as an afterthought, and that too for a perfunctory reason to just tick the boxes. And look at the behavior of the government since the union territory status and Lieutenant Governor's administration. Most of the industrial clusters went to valley. Most of the oxygen generators went to valley. Most of the allocations for funds went to valley.
Javed Iqbal Shah,
most of
is
the
there
jobs
merit?
went to valley.
Is there merit in Jammu feeling like the poor country cousin? Is there discrimination against Jammu, and is there merit that this exercise may just set that right?
Gaurav, there is a concurrent feeling in Kashmir then that Kashmir is being discriminated against. I think you need to, look at J&K as two eyes of this body, which is the Union of India, which is our country, India. You can't do, justice to one and injustice to the other. You have to look at them, like kind of with parity. But that said, I think if there is any such notion or any such misconception that Jammu is being discriminated against, what was the harm? These people have been in power now. J&K has been under central rule for 3 long years.
Yes.
Why didn't they do a census? Why didn't they bring it up to date? And that said, Mr. Tak will bear me out. Mufti Sahab of all people, do you know he contested an assembly election in '86 from Jammu? And Jammu wholeheartedly supported him as Congress president and sent him to the assembly from Araspura. I think PDP should not have any reservations on that one at least.
Okay, Mr. Tak, you want to quickly respond on the delimitation exercise before I bring in Sanju Verma? Mr. Tak.
Well, Gaurav, there have been a lot of apprehensions among the people about the Delimitation Commission. And if you ask me personally, I think this is an exercise being carried out to disempower Muslims of Jammu region. I think that is the stance which is prevailing in Jammu region, especially in the hilly areas of this region, wherein BJP people
get out of the Muslim mindset.
are coming.
One by one.
What is the problem with you then?
One by one,
Is that a problem?
Gentlemen, one by one.
Is that a problem? The Bharatiya Janata Party people have been in their public rallies and party meetings categorically saying that we are going to carve out constituencies, especially in Jammu region where Muslims will be completely politically orphaned and they will not be able to.
Okay, Sanju Verma, I have the last 30 seconds on the broadcast. Respond to this allegation.
I think that apprehension has to be addressed by the...
Yes, Sanju Verma, please respond, ma'am.
and the delimitation commission itself,
Gaurav.
especially when there is no representation from Jammu and Kashmir.
Which is not true. There is representation, and we just listed out the members from the Valley and from Jammu. Ms. Verma, please respond, ma'am.
Gaurav, this whole narrative being peddled by Sushil Pandit, so I have nothing personal against him. That, you know, a lot of...
Ma'am, I have only 30 seconds. I asked you about delimitation. I would request you to restrict your answer to the delimitation point, please.
I'm finishing. All I'm telling you, Gaurav, is that enough is being done for the people of Jammu also. Now tell me, during COVID also, Gaurav, 3,000 kilometers of roads were built. That helps people in Jammu, people in Kashmir, even people in Ladakh. 8 new medical colleges are being built, of which 5 are being built in Jammu area and 3 in Srinagar. The Delimitation Commission will submit its report, and then we will take a call on the redrawing of electoral constituencies. But you know very well that from 87 the strength went up in the assembly to 107 with 24 seats reserved for POK. So this government has all the bona fide intent to also reclaim POK, which is ours. Gilgit-Baltistan, which is ours.
Okay.
So people can come here and talk in TV studios. Modi government is working on the ground. Chenani Nashri Tunnel has reduced the commuting time for people from 6
you
hours
say
to just 2
watch
hours.
action
But
on
you
ground.
never give credit to
I
people
will let
for
that be the last word on
More
this
than
part.
80,000 crore has been
Okay.
announced, and more than 40% of that has already been disbursed.
Okay.
Jammu
Okay.
is
Ma'am, many thanks for joining me. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me. I need to slip into a break because there's a sensational story coming up on the other side.